Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Buckets. Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk Cars, the show where we think if you own a Dodge Challenger or Charger, you probably need to go to a therapist to rethink your life choices. And so I'm here to talk to you guys today about engines. Now, I am not very well versed on how the engine works. And honestly, you might say, oh, well, you're on a car show, you should probably learn about engines. That's to Jeremy Clarkson, who still doesn't know how an engine works, according to him. So anyway, yes, my point here is that I like the sound of engines. And I think that bigger engines are normally cooler engines. Well, with some exceptions. And today we're not going to be talking about the stats and how they affect fuel economy. We're going to be talking about their overall history with each big V configuration engine and how they, worked. Here we go. This is a small V engine history of sounds and overall effectiveness. Okay, as I said before, I will only be talking about the noises made by engines that are in the V configuration. So, sorry Bugatti, no W engines for you, and most other car brands that use stuff like the inline-4 engine or the straight-6 engine will not be counted here. Also, I'm not going to be talking, when we get onto the V8 section of this video, I'm going to be talking about the modern V8, not the uneven glory days V8. So, sadly, cars with the original Ford Mustang Mach 1 will not be appearing on this list either. Anyway, let's start off with a car that no one ever really used, and probably even fewer people actually know about. This is the V4 engine. So yeah, the V4 engine. Let's put it kindly, it sounds like starting up a gasoline-powered lawnmower on a cold, cold day, which is not good. Now, unless you lived in Soviet Russia, you probably never had any contact with this engine at all. Unless you owned the low-level GT Ford Capri, which did actually have a V8 option, V6 option, or a V4 option. Now, the V4 engine, apart from those two, apart from like Soviet Russia cars and the original Capri GT, it wasn't really used much because it wasn't good. And although it did give more power than many other engines available at the time, it just drank gas constantly. It was not a well-produced engine and was uneven as hell. Now, people say the V8 is uneven, but yeah, it's uneven in a charming way. This is uneven in like uneven blades on a knife or a saw. Just really annoying. It's a funny little comedic engine, I guess, but you can see why it barely got used by anyone. Let's move on to an engine that definitely has gotten some use over time, the V6. The V6 engine. It's been put in everything from Toyota Camrys to Ford GTs. This engine is a workhorse, and a very common one at that. You can find it in big trucks, like Toyotas, or light trucks, again like Toyotas, or even Chevys. Hell, and even Ford made a V6 Raptor truck. However, it's also been available in cars like the Toyota Camry LE, Limited Edition, or SE, Special Edition. And by the way, Special Limited Editions were only really a big thing during the early 2000s, meaning that they were always worse than the car that they were based on, really. However, does it sound nice? Yes! The standard one, unturbocharged, makes a lovely little purring noise. It's quite nice. Although most of them are turbocharged. So the turbocharged ones, turbocharged and supercharged, include the ones in like the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio Gyogi thingy. Seriously, that car is a major seller in America, and we're stupid and we can't pronounce that name. Help. Italy, just listen and change it to something simple like Alfa Romeo Quadra, nice. Anyway, yeah, so most engines are like in big, like nice cars, they're not the Toyota Camry or big trucks, with the V6 variant are turbocharged, supercharged. And Ford made a big deal out of that when they made the new 2016 Ford GT. Okay, sorry, new in 2016, but they're still doing it now. And they didn't put a V8 in it like everyone expected, or even a V12. They put a big turbocharged, supercharged V6 engine. And that's because it's, apart from the V4, the lightest of all the V engine series ever made, because it's smaller. It's not a huge block V8, and hell, they never actually really made any huge block V6 cars. And it's a nice little engine. I do really like it a lot. Probably my second favorite engine ever made. Well, in the V configuration, because W engines sound amazing. Seriously though, the V6 was and still is a really cool engine. Although, I mean, it's definitely beating out the inline 6. Now, I noticed when we mentioned like all the other engines that are not V configurations here, but to be fair, I need to compare it to something. Inline 6 is another version of the 6-cylinder engine, which has been pushed out of favor just due to how big and bulky it is. It's been pushed out of favor by the V6. However, if you still want to get a good inline 6, look at some the old Nissan Skyline cars and the BMW cars. Anyway, my final verdict here is that the V6 is an amazing little engine, and I really, really love it. It's the little engine that could, and the V4 is a little engine that probably died in childbirth, or just a little engine that couldn't. Anyway, let's keep going. Now on to the big, loud, and normally pretty stupid V8. Okay, so I'm an American, so I must love big, loud, and noisy things, right? Well, in the case of the V8 engine, normally no. I've got a good reason for this, several actually. The first one being, it's the modifiers engine. The people who just want to say, I can modify a car, I'll put a big ass engine in it and see what happens. That's because even big block V8s can only fit under the hood of a car like this. Big car, lots of room. And that's why you see Priuses with V8 engines roaming around for no good reason. It's just stupid. And it's loud and obnoxious. Also, the way it sounds. Now, it sounds like somebody trying to gargle nails. With a muffler over their mouth. Like, seriously. Listen to the one that Dodge elected to put in their Challengers and Chargers. Now, the Challenger is the worst of the two variants. It's a Hemi engine at the best of times. At the worst of times, it's supercharged. Now, the Hemi engine is not quite as bad because it gave it a clear path to the exhaust and a shaker hood so you can actually hear the nice, brutal sound. I like an unbridled V8, I really do. But the ones that we normally get on cars like the other Chargers and Challengers sound muffled and, as I said before, like gargling nails. Or just shrieking into a pillow. It sounds terrible. Now, the other big muscle cars that use the V8 that you might think, well, wait a second, what are your favorite car brands, Oliver? Yes. I'm going to have to talk about the Ford Mustang 5.0. The 5-liter Ford Mustang GT. Now, this is where it starts to get tricky. Because Ford actually differentiates themselves from Dodge. They're not quite as fast, or quite as fast even 60, but they do handle better. But also, the Ford Mustang, not the EcoBoost ones or any of that crap, the actual ones, the V8 ones, the ones I'm proud to call a Mustang. Those cars have a V8 that works because it's loud and clear. It's not muffled. You know exactly what's going on. You know, oh shit, that's a Ford, that's a Shelby, that's a Hennessy Mustang. I gotta get out of the way. Otherwise the snake's gonna bite me and kill me. That car just screams American badass. Well, Chevy screams, none of my two original makers are actually American. Oh shit. See, on the Chevy V8 found in the Corvette is cool. I've shitted on the Camaro enough. Eric and I actually both agree that the new Camaros are just track toys, not actual muscle cars. Anyway, yes, that is the muscle car V8. But how does it fare in the other types of cars it's put in? Yes, it is a very popular engine in big trucks and even some Jeeps. Land Rovers have it, Jeeps have it, and most Ram trucks have it, or at least some variant of the Hemi configuration engine. Now, in trucks and Jeeps and heavy cars, I absolutely understand why it's there. It's not to make it go fast. It's, well, relatively fast at least. It's because trucks need to carry big, heavy loads and need a heavy, big engine that can handle all the weight. And Range Rovers and Jeeps, Land Rovers, all of that stuff, the Evoques especially, need bigger engines because, well, how else can you justify paying $100,000 for an SUV unless it's gold-plated? And don't say Cadillac, because the Cadillac Escalade is the turd of the car industry right now. Has been for a while. And then, of course, supercars. Now, V8s and supercars have been dying out. So back when Chrysler ran Lamborghini, oh god, the drama, Chrysler Lamborghinis were known for being bad. But also known, that's when Lamborghini entered the V8 era, and they made some pretty bad cars. Although they did make the LM002, which was the Rambo Lamb, the big truck, which everyone loved, or at least was a guilty pleasure car for most. I love the thing. It's just fucking hilarious. It's amazing. But yeah, no, seriously though, supercars do still use the V8, mostly in the form of Ferraris. Now, Aston Martin, the Vantage is a sports car, not a supercar. And there is a V8 Vantage, which, back when it was one of the few variants of Vantage you could buy, everyone has went and bought the V12 anyway. Never sold. Now, Ferrari is allowed to have a little bit less horsepower because it normally only incorporates rear-wheel drive vehicles. And that's why the V8 is used so much, because it's a heavy engine, and honestly, in a Ferrari, any front downforce you can get is a very good thing. And it works well in that situation because mostly they don't have any stupid muffler on it. It's a loud V8, and I can get behind that 100%. And then there's Lamborghini. Now, Lamborghini does not make V8 engine cars very often. In fact, they've made a grand total of 12 in their entire history of making cars. Most of those were with Chrysler. So seriously, Lamborghini, they do mostly all-wheel drive. Yes. And V12s. Yes! Seriously though, the big industries here are Ferrari. They dominate the supercar market with these things. I guess Maserati also makes them. But also normally just muscle cars and heavy cars. Anyway, people always talk about the V12, but never get a lot of love to what's in the middle. The V10. That's coming up next. Now, okay, I have to talk about the V10 here for a second. Now, the V10 will probably go down in history as the second least used engine that's in the V configuration, right behind the V4. And no, I'm not counting Mazda's V-half, which they tried to build a half-cylinder V, I don't even know. Anyway, yeah, no one uses the V10, and you can't figure out why. It's a powerful engine. Now, there have been some big cars over the last few years that have become popular for using it. One of those is the now sadly canceled Dodge Viper. I'm not a huge fan of Dodge, but I, like the rest of the world basically, love the Viper. When you think about American fast cars, you think Dodge Viper, especially the ACR series. Now, I know they made some V12 versions, but the car started out with a big block V10, and it was absolutely brilliant. Dodge didn't really give a big reason for killing it off, except that they wanted to put more money into the Dodge Demon, which Eric and I both agree is a cool car. We just wish it wasn't a Challenger with a body kit. Anyway, seriously though, the Dodge Viper was a cool, awesome car, and it did not, surprisingly for Dodge, never muffled its big, loud, grunting V10 sound. The V10 in the Dodge Viper was a true American V10, and we all loved it. But hold on, you might say, don't some other people use the V10 as well? That's right, those folks over in Italy use the V12 on Lamborghini's smaller and slower cars. Now, it's a weird world when I have to say slow being 204 miles an hour. That's not slow. But in the supercar world, it's the threshold now-ish. If you guys want to talk about supercars, look at my video I did on supercars as well, what the threshold is there. Which is why the new TVR Griffith is a supercar, not a sports car. Deal with it. But yeah, so on cars like the Lamborghini Gallardo and all the Gallardo versions and models, except for the Cessna Elemento, which had a V12 in it, because it's a track-only car, those all got the V10 treatment. And if you say Gallardo, I will find you and drive a railroad spike through your chest, and then like hang you in the town square with the words in the pronunciation, "This person said Gallardo and now they're dead." It's Gallardo. Please. It's like murder to my ears if someone says Gallardo. Now people are going to send me voice emails or calls saying Gallardo into a microphone. God damn it. Anyway, my point being, Lamborghini Gallardo and the Lamborghini Huracan, not the Huracan Performante, but regular Huracan, both used, and to be fair, the Huracan's actually being phased out pretty soon, I think, as well. They use, at this point, V10 engines. Because they're a lighter weight sports supercar. Somewhere between a super and a sports car, I guess. And I've never really had a really big soft spot for Lamborghini Huracan. I mean, it's a cool car. I always prefer to be driving the Aventador, though, if I had to take one of the two. Because Lamborghini, for the past few versions, ever since it got bought out from Chrysler again by Audi, Volkswagen now owns Audi, who owns Lamborghini. Volkswagen also now owns Bugatti. Volkswagen owns the supercar market. Apart from Ferrari, who had an interesting relationship with Fiat. Anyway, yeah. I prefer the Aventador because for the last years, Lamborghini's been making a big car and a small car. And then a really big car with the Urus. Ha, funny, get big. But I mean, like, they make faster cars and not so faster cars. I know that's improper grammar, but it feels weird saying the Huracan's not a fast car because it is so not so faster. It makes sense here. I don't know. So, yeah, the Huracan and the Gallardo were always the smaller versions of the Murcielago and the Aventador. And they always got the V10 treatment. So now why is it being used as much? Because I know our planet's fucked, but Greenpeace, up your ass for killing off the V10. It's the least environmental friendly V engine ever created. Apart from, I guess, Ford attempted to build an open-top Shelby. Like open-hood Shelby engine that just gassed everything with a miles radius. But no, seriously, the V10 was not an environmentally friendly engine. It was never highly popular either. It always sat in the power threshold between the V8 and the V12, which many people love. In fact, I think V8 and V12 was a big rivalry in the car world, kind of like Giants and Dodgers in baseball. The Giants are the V12 and the Dodgers are the V8. Because more people like the Dodgers, but more people are wrong. Giants for life. SF power. We will do better in 2019, yeah. No, but seriously though, so the V10 was in an awkward position, always has been. I do really like the engine, I think it's kind of cool. Especially as people who use it like Lamborghini, when they use it and Dodge, they don't put big mufflers on it. And that make it sound stupid. They just tell you, oh yeah, here's the V10. It's fast, it'll do over 200 miles an hour, let's do it. Now on to my favorite V configuration engine of the lot, the V12. It's really cool. The V12. What an amazing engine. Many people don't like it because it's not loud and stupid. It's loud, a bit whiny, but it's dignified. That's why the Lamborghini uses it in most of their cars. That's why it's the engine that is fitted to most Aston Martins. That's why it's a classic. Think of cars like the Lamborghini Miura. If I had a V8, would people respect it? No, they'd say, oh look, Italy is trying to make muscle cars now. How cool. No. Well now, because it had a V12, it's credited as being probably one of the, actually it's known as the first supercar. Now Ferrari has done some V12 stuff in the past with the TDF. Not the TDF, but the TDF. Because before Tour de France, the bike thing copyrighted it, there was actually a thing called Tour de France, which was a car thing, which was the original Ferrari TDF. But anyway, the TDF for I think 2012, and the TDF, the one they remade it with, the TDF 2012 thing, and the TDF GT thingy they built in 2015, that's a track car, those were V12 powered, and you can tell because they're stupidly fast and hard to control, because Ferrari does not realize that putting that much horsepower into a rear-wheel drive car driven by people who have money to afford Ferrari but not actually driving lessons, it's not going to work very well. Anyway, I love the V12. It sounds brilliant. And when you add a supercharger, it's delightfully high-pitched. It sounds like something futuristic, and that's because it is. Now, Jerry Clarkson on Top Gear a while ago, when he was still working Top Gear, said, oh, the V12 is dying. And immediately after that, a huge wave of amazing V12 cars came out. So Jeremy Clarkson, I'm sorry. Suck it, you're wrong. Respect that guy, absolutely, but he is definitely wrong about that one. So yeah, the V12. It's loud, it's noisy, but it's my engine. Now, if you were to put the V12 engine in something like this, I would want to kill you because it does not belong in this. It belongs in cars that deserve respect, or cars that are just expensive. Aston Martin's 177, for example. 1 million pounds, well, pound, so it's not weight, so it's pound, the currency, things I've ever made. Or just cool, fast cars. If you put it in like a Prius, which some people have done, to be fair, Prius, the Prius GT, look it up, it's a thing. Actually does have one of these. By that I mean that someone put a V12 engine in it. This does not contain a V12. This contains, I think it contains like inline 4 in it or whatever. Anyway, yes, the V12, a brilliant engine for brilliant cars and nothing else. If you put it in your Mazda, I've lost all respect for you. I like car mods more than I love car mods. Keep the stupid V12 put mods to Forza. In real world, just please don't.